Let's say you've watched the other videos. You think the game looks interesting and you're cool with the setting. What do you do from there? Welcome back. My name is Ixon, and this is How to Play Castles and Crusaders. Before I get into the minutiae of the miniatures on the minimap, I wanted to do what all good GMs do, Session 0. This is going to cover the expectations of being a player in a grand campaign, as well as the things you can expect from me and the other GMs in this and other grand campaigns being run in the Meta Foundry community. Joining the game is fairly simple, though there are a few bookkeeping things that have to be taken care of to make sure that all the players and the GMs are on the same page with who's playing what. First, you join the Discord server, there's a link in the description, and navigate to the section for C&C. Use the rulebooks to decide on what kind of units you'd like to play, and then pick a warband to join for the campaign. Next, you simply follow the flowchart for unit creation. Meta Foundry employs the use of a bot, created by a user, by the name of Cheese. The bot is called SAM, short for Supply, Allocation, and Management, and is used for tracking the many players participating in the game. It also manages the shop used by the players to purchase and upgrade units, and allows the GMs to give payouts en masse with a few clicks of a button. So, in order to make a unit, you'll need to use a couple simple bot commands. You can type these commands into any channel in the server. First up is /company_create, which adds your Discord username to the economy of the game and gives you your starting gold. It'll prompt you for a name. You can consider this as the name of your very own mercenary company, hiring new units as you decide. You can edit it later with the /company_edit command. Next is /unit_create. It'll ask you for a name and a unit type. This is the lasting name for your unit, carried over from campaign to campaign. It can also be edited later. This is different from a call sign, which is the name displayed by the GM in mid-round posts, which I will cover shortly. Next is /shop_open. Once you've picked a unit type and named it, you can officially purchase that unit using the shop, which may give you some unit gold, like the soldier, for example, who starts with a free weapon, or a mage who starts with a free spell. Once you've purchased your unit, any upgrades you can afford, and the campaign is activated and opened by the GM, you'll finally be able to run /unit_activate, which prompts you to select one of your units, one of the campaigns, and then decide on a call sign. Your unit's call sign is what it will be called for the duration of the campaign, and has a character limit of 7. If you find that you have any questions at all during the company creation process, please do ask. We have a ton of GMs, group leaders, and veteran players, and you can definitely count on us to help you answer any questions that you have about the game. If you're unfamiliar with play-by-post games, this next section should clear up some of the expectations for players and GMs. While C&C is turn-based, like most TTRPGs, it's different in that the players and enemies don't get individual turns. Instead, between turns, each player is expected to submit a post to a dedicated orders channel outlining their intentions. This post will contain several pieces of information needed by the GMs and the sub-GMs, including your unit's call sign, the unit's type, any equipment it has and in what quantity, any actions it plans on taking during the turn, its intended movement, and its order type. It is important to note that your order submission must not be edited. If you do need to change your order, either to fix an error or because the warband's plans have changed, you just need to delete and repost it. This is mostly to avoid confusion, but also serves as an anti-cheat method. From there, depending on the size of the game, your orders will be compressed into another image by a sub-GM, called a tactician in C&C, and is submitted on behalf of your entire warband. Once all players have submitted orders, or a deadline is reached, the GM will process all of the players' orders and the enemies simultaneously. They'll be rolling dice behind the scenes whenever conflicts are happening, and marking damage and spent resources on the map in the form of mid-round posts, shifting focus from location to location until everything has been covered. Once mid-rounds are complete, the GM will post a full-size map of the turn's final result, and the process will repeat from there. When it comes time to submit your unit's orders, the most important thing to consider is what order type you're acting under. Is your unit holding a defensive position? Executing a patrol on a possible enemy zone? Charging an enemy fortification? Your order type determines how you'll be engaging the enemy this turn. Advance. Advancing units are carefully marching along a set path, keeping an eye out for enemies to engage. Advancing is the most direct path to combat while staying careful and defensive. Hold. Holding units don't move, but do attack enemies that come close enough. Infantry units gain bonuses for holding, and further bonuses when holding alongside other allies. You can do other things while holding, like healing or building, as long as you're not moving. Charge. Charging units sacrifice their defense for extra speed. You can also get incredible bonuses for charging alongside allies. Rush. Rushing units double their movement, but cannot attack. You take double damage whenever you rush, so do watch where you're going. Evasive. Evasive units dodge and weave along unpredictable paths so as to avoid enemy attacks. They gain a higher defense, but have a similar penalty on their damage. Evasive is great for scouts, harassing the enemy, and for staying alive. Stealth. Stealthing units are capable of avoiding detection, and are great at getting past enemy lines. Successful stealthing isn't guaranteed, though, so be sure to watch the enemy carefully and make sure you can call in for backup when you need it. When it comes time to play the game, each unit can be played a variety of different ways. For CNC, there are 10 base units to choose from, each of which has a number of refits to choose from once you've played in a game or two and have earned the gold to purchase them. To help define these units, our players have brainstormed a kind of alignment system with 2 categories. A unit's preferred position is defined by the line it typically sits on. Frontline units are the first to be targeted by melee charges or retreating skirmishers, and are generally the most likely to be taking damage on any given turn. Flanking units prefer to avoid the front line and value their ability to choose when and how they engage the enemy over their own durability. Midline units have some defensive abilities, since they are in danger of taking enemy ranged fire, but tend to have different abilities than their frontline partners. Backline units have practically no defensive abilities and must rely on their allies to shield them from harm. They tend to contribute to the battle with alternative methods. A unit's function is defined by exactly how it contributes to the success of the mission. Territorial units are good for holding existing territory by preventing the enemy from moving past them. Support units heal, buff, or otherwise counteract enemy damage without offering much damage of their own. Logistics units bypass other units' limitations on supply and movement by having supply to spare or by transporting other units around the map. Damaging units are designed for a simple purpose: to destroy the enemy. Soldiers have 2 potential functions depending on their weapon choices. When equipped with melee weapons, they act as frontline territorial units, holding back waves of enemy soldiers or standing stalwart against the enemy's ranged attacks. When equipped with ranged weapons, they instead act as midline damage units. Occupying outposts or standing behind their melee weapon counterparts, they soften up the enemy before they can reach the front. Healers are the quintessential support unit, able to directly reverse the damage dealt by the enemy with healing actions. They have little of their own defense, and so must take shelter behind their allies on the midline. While they have no defensive abilities of their own, laborers are very flexible from the start, able to fill many niches depending on the structures they choose to build, but they should probably remain on the back line for their own safety. When building fortifications like watchtowers or keeps, they can help to prop up the territorial units. When building utility structures like the smith, apothecary, or shrine, they can serve as a support unit by crafting weapons, potions, or providing extra mana to the nearby mage units. They can even serve as logistics with their ability to generate supply using the mill structure. Also very flexible depending on the siege weapon they bring to bear, siege crew units can cover a wide range. Catapults bring backline damaging power with the largest range of any attack in the game. Flame spitters and bolt throwers are particularly deadly, and when set up, they provide excellent midline territorial control, threatening guaranteed damage to anyone who gets too close. Finally, battering rams serve as frontline support, shielding units from ranged attacks while they advance forwards. By far the most flexible unit, mages tend to sit on the mid or back line. Depending on their chosen spells, they can serve many different functions. Here's an example of each. With the Conjure Palisade spell, they can hold territory at range without having to risk the lives of the laborers. With the Barrier spell, they can provide support to other units, helping them soak up extra damage. With the Mana Conduit spell, they can bypass their own logistics needs by recharging other mages with their own mana. And with the Arcane Blast spell, they can hurl damage across an area from range. Like soldiers, knights can serve different functions depending on their chosen weapons. With short-range weapons like lances, they act as frontline or flank-side damaging units. They've got both the movement and the durability necessary to move in, strike hard, and survive the charge. While they're not quite as tough as dedicated frontline soldiers, they're still far tougher than any non-combat unit. Their tactics change when they take ranged weapons, though. When moving in evasive, they can serve as flank-side support units, able to harass the enemy lines and dodge attacks that would have been otherwise aimed elsewhere. Supply carts are the quintessential logistics unit. In addition to being able to carry troops and supply, they have the ability to self-repair, making them durable enough to deliver troops from the midline, but since they rarely need to attack, they can employ the rush order whenever they're safely on the back line, making them one of the fastest units in the game. As a unit with high armor, lots of movement, and a little bit of carrying capacity, Linebreakers can serve in many capacities. As a logistics unit, they can easily maneuver around the front line, rescuing damaged units, delivering bits of supply to siege and healer units, and while they don't have the raw defensive abilities of entrenched soldiers, they can reinforce dwindling territory on the flank side as needed, or even join in the cavalry charge as a frontline damaging unit, though they are more effective in other capacities. Sky Beasts have the ability to perform evasive screens like a knight can, making them strong flank-side support units. But where they can really shine is in their ability to transport units and cargo through the air. Even in evasive, they can ferry reinforcements to the flank side, providing logistics work by flying over obstacles. Last but not least, the Monstrosity unit is built for damage. It's the only base unit with 2 attacks. Since one is ranged and one is melee, Monstrosities perform the best as flank-side damaging units, coming in from unexpected angles and using their twin attacks to the best of their ability. Hopefully this answers some of the questions you might have had about Castles and Crusaders. If there's other concepts you'd like me to cover in a video, like weapons, spells, structures, refits, or even the lore of the Tiny Kingdoms, feel free to leave a comment. I love to read every single one. Thank you, and bye-bye.